I'm 116th in the food bank line. Let's see how long it takes and if we get any food.
Oh, good morning. Gotcha. How are you this morning?
We are in this third line and there's a beautiful view of the water. This is the second line way down there, and the food's being distributed right over here to the first line.
As this video goes on, you'll see what context I'm about to put on it.
8 minutes and things are moving along pretty nicely.
So first thing to note is she's driving nice car. It looks modern. It's got all the tech on it. And it's this young lady in a food bank queue. It's a large one, and she certainly shows the queue, and the video goes on where she keeps documenting how long the queue is, but she gets through, I think, after about an hour or so.
And joining this first line. And I can see that 18 cars got in line behind me after the start time.
So she just keeps reporting about the food bank queue. Let's just skip this forward a little bit, where she starts to head off home. There's the food bank, the people handing out the food. Okay, right, here we go. Let's cut to her when she's at home.
We're home. Let's take a look at what we came back with. 10 pounds of peaches, 3 half gallons of milk, 12 pounds of grapes, chocolate, eggs, tortillas, all kinds of yogurt, overnight oatmeal, plenty of meat, 5 pounds of chicken, breakfast sausage, ground pork, ham steak, tuna fish, chicken breast, chicken tenderloins, 2 macaroni and cheese, oatmeal, egg noodles, all kinds of canned fruits and vegetables, peanut butter, and applesauce.
That's quite the shopping trip, isn't it? In today's money, I don't know, maybe my American friends can sort of update, because here in the UK, that would be, as it stands at the moment, very much a ton of money. Now, of course, in regards to the context of this, now I know that people can fall on hard times, okay? And I know that it can even happen to the best of us. And that can happen suddenly as well, but nice car, nice clothes, well groomed, nice house. Yeah, I know in America you're quite big on worktops, aren't you? And I know those worktops, they don't come cheap. And that's quite the food haul, isn't it? I mean, you're talking hundreds and hundreds of dollars there. So, you know, I don't want to sound like I'm being judgmental or ignorant, because as I said, the best of us can fall on hard times, but why is she going to a food bank? And that's obviously one of the first questions. And if she is, clearly I was about if she is, she did, right? She went to the food bank. So if she's going to the food bank and it's legitimate, and let's say, you know, she needs to, right? After, you know, she's gone in a nice car, well groomed, nice hair, nice clothes, back to a nice house with the nice worktop and what have you. And again, there's some assumptions in this. Yeah, don't get me wrong. There's some assumptions. You know, we're assuming that is her place as well, and it's her car and bits like that. But, you know, I think they're relatively fair assumptions at this stage, right? If all of that is the case, the first question most people are going to be asking is why she's going to a food bank, right? The other point that I want to make out of this is, like, I think we're in some sort of depression, right? We're in a depression, and of course, you know, when it comes to depressions and recessions, a lot of that is guided with what we're told, isn't it? It's like, oh, we're in this recession, or we had this recession. You know, some of the more notable dates will be like 2008, for example, the last biggie. Although again, you know, there's been bits after that, of course. Was there one in like 2012 and beyond that? We've had quite a few, right? But are we in some type of depression that we're just not being told about? Like, if she's legitimately going to the food bank, right? And she legitimately needs to do that. Are we in a recession? Are we in a depression? Or is it a case of this country, the US, the UK, and developed countries, let's call it that? Is there some overprivilege? I'm just throwing some questions out here, and I'm making observations, and this is as much about your viewpoint as anything else. What I want my videos to be about. But if she is legitimately in a food bank, coming off the back of a nice car, from a nice car, going into a nice house. I keep mentioning that worktop. I like the worktop. They're expensive. I know they're a big deal. I've seen some of your renovation programs in the US, and I know you take your worktops very seriously, and they're not cheap. All right. So she's back, and she's got quite the haul there, hasn't she? Now, I just want to clarify as well what I mean about privilege. Because boy, oh boy, that is mentioned more often than it should be. And in quite frustrating contexts, quite often. I'm sure most people would agree, whether it's US or UK or Western developed countries, lots of us are going to the dogs, right? Just here in the UK, I recently discovered that, according to a Daily Mail article, but you can believe it because the country certainly feels like it's going to the dogs, right? It's going to Shiza quickly. Are things getting better? Definitely not, right? And I'm sure many people would agree in many places in the US that is the case and has been the case for a while. Not only in regards to environmental impact and how crap things look and how dirtier things are, crime, but how much things cost as well. Generally, these are all signs of decline. They're not advances, are they? Right? I just recently discovered in the UK that over half of households are claiming more in benefits than they're paying in tax. Over half. It doesn't take a frickin' genius to start to work out how quickly that becomes destructive, even if they want to implement things like UBI, Universal Basic Income, right? It doesn't take a genius to work out how quickly your country will go to the dogs and go to Shiza, right? So I'm just throwing it out there in relation to this. If she legitimately needs to go to the food bank based on her situation, why is that? Right? Is it greed? Is it overprivilege? Is it a need? Or are we literally in some kind of bigger than a recession, like a depression, and of course they're not telling us about it? Maybe there's other options on the table that I'm not exploring that, hey, over to you, clever dicks and guys. They're just my observations. What do you think? Ta-ta.